Hey guys, good evening. Welcome to this midweek edition of our Footybets YouTube channel. Hey guys, you know what we always do? Every time we come in here, we say that we have a plan to get to 10,000 subscribers. I know I said that for October, but this is November. Hey, we still have that plan. Do us a favor and click on the subscription button below. Like this video and turn on notifications because we'll be releasing videos like this on a regular, right? So guys, let's do a quick recap of the videos that we did, or rather the predictions that we made last weekend. Man, it was a bloodbath, right? We called about 16 games, and 5 of those games that completely shattered our tickets were games that none of us could see. First of all, was that loss at Anfield, Liverpool losing to Leeds there. The second game was AC Milan Torino, right? AC Milan lost that game 2-1, and then you had Lazio Salernitana. Lazio lost, right? Unbelievable. These were the guys that beat Atalanta last week, right? They lost Salernitana at home, right? And then you had Bayern Leverkusen. They couldn't even draw one. Sorry, they couldn't even score one against RB Leipzig. They lost there 2-0. We had called that game as a goal there. And I think the other game, Real Madrid Girona, we called it as a straight win for Real Madrid. Real Madrid ended up losing that drawing that one at home 1-1, and Toni Kroos even getting sent off in that game. And I think we called Chelsea Brighton. We called it as a goal. Yeah, that was a good one, but it was also a shocking loss for Chelsea there. What were the other results that we got wrong? We called Man U West Ham as a goal, but I remember just when I was about to end that video, I said I'd seen it as a 1-0, right? So if you're really observant and really pick my words there, you would have played it as a Man U win or draw, or just perfect score 1-0. So that's pretty much it. About 16 calls there, we got about 11 right. So give or take just about 60%. Hey, if we're going to play God and we do 11 over 16, then we've done our very best. So let's really get into the games in the Champions League and Europa League this week. So I won't be calling too many games, and that's because so many of these teams that are involved in Champions League have played too many games, right, over the last 3 weeks. And so as they approach Sunday, and Sunday is the last set of fixtures before the World Cup, you're going to find a lot of teams resting players this midweek, especially the teams that have already qualified for the round of 16. Most of them will be saving their players for the last weekend fixture there. Today we'll begin with obviously the high flying game. Today is between Bayern Munich and Inter Milan, or Liverpool versus Napoli. But Napoli are the informed team in Europe, so obviously we'll begin there. Liverpool lost to Leeds there, and I don't think I was surprised by that result. If you had seen that game against Ajax, the first 10 minutes, if Ajax were clinical, but just half as clinical as Liverpool, I think Ajax would have raced on to a 3-0 lead early on in that first half there. So it wasn't surprised that we considered those 2 goals against Leeds. Again, pathetic and hesitating defending there from Van Dijk there led to us conceding our second goal there. But it's been a major fixture of Liverpool's season, and I think that the lack of investment in midfield has finally caught up with Liverpool. That midfield is constantly overrun and doesn't just know how to control games, and that's why you're seeing a lot of teams get create a lot of chances against Liverpool. Against Napoli again, I'm sorry, although I'm a Liverpool fan, I don't see Liverpool coming out of this game with anything. I would play Napoli X2, either a straight Napoli win or Napoli X2. But I don't see Liverpool coming away from this game with a good result. Except if Napoli rest their first 11. But hey, you can play it as a Napoli X2 there. That's a safe bet. The next game will be Rangers Ajax. Yeah, that's the other game in the group there. Rangers Ajax will be, so Rangers are at home at Hampden Park there. In Scotland, and they're probably trying to save face, trying to salvage some pride going to the last game of the group stages there. Ajax and Rangers are battling now for the third spot there in the group, to see which of them can qualify for the Europa League there. And Ajax are just a better team than Rangers at the moment. Although in that game I'll go for a goal, or I'll go for an Ajax X2, not an Ajax away win, but an Ajax X2. So the safe options for that game would be a goal or an Ajax X2, right? The next game we'll consider would be FC Porto versus Atletico Madrid there. The reverse fixture there. The reverse fixture, it was the first game of the Champions League, and I think Antoine Griezmann scored a late leveler there in the first fixture of the group stages there. Atletico Madrid obviously haven't qualified for the last 16, so they're one of the three Spanish teams that have been eliminated there. Yeah, but this one is going to be played in Portugal, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure Atletico are playing for pride. They even lost at the weekend again to Cadiz 3-2, which again was another shocking result. In this game, I'll give FC Porto the upper hand. I expect them to be aggressive as they are at the Dragao, very aggressive. I'm probably wanting to finish on the flourish. This is group stages of the Champions League there. So I'll go for a Porto win or a Porto 1x. So that's win or draw for FC Porto there in that game. The next one will be Bayern Munich versus Inter Milan. Inter Milan, secured passage last week when they beat Victoria Pilsen 4-0 there. They're traveling to Germany this time around to face the Bavarian Giants there, and I can only see one outcome, even though Inter Milan have been playing well of recent there. But this one is a tricky one, right? I think I'll just go for a goal or a Bayern Munich to win or draw. So that would be a Bayern 1x, Bayern win or draw, or a goal, right? That's decent enough. The next one we'll consider will be Pilsen, Victoria Pilsen versus Barcelona. Barcelona have to absolutely salvage some form of pride in this away game here. They have to travel, to Eastern Europe to face these guys, and I just feel like they will end this, this group stage with a victory. Although it has been, massively disappointing for them. I just feel like some form of Catalan pride there will be on show for us today. So I expect Barcelona to go ahead and just win this, and even if they don't win it, at least secure a draw against these guys here. Yeah, the next one will be Marseille versus Tottenham. Tottenham absolutely have to get at least a draw, a minimum of a draw here to qualify for the last 16 there. Remember the dramatic game last week at the Tottenham Stadium there, where Harry Kane thought he had secured all 3 points for Tottenham, only for a controversial VAR offside decision call there to rule it out, and then Antonio Conte got himself sent off because of his protestations there. But hey, Tottenham were resilient. They dug deep against Bournemouth to secure that 3-2 victory on Saturday, and I'm absolutely convinced that they will go away in Marseille there in France and just try and get that result that they need to qualify for the last 16. So for me, it would be a Tottenham win or draw, right? The next one would consider would be Sporting Lisbon versus Eintracht Frankfurt. Sporting Lisbon have already secured. No, I yet to secure that passage, and I think they just need a draw here against Eintracht Frankfurt. Yeah, they will be in Portugal here playing this game against the Germans. I expect this one to be a goal because both teams have to come out absolutely and try and score a goal here. So again, Sporting Eintracht Frankfurt will be a goal for me. The next game I'll consider will be AC Milan versus Salzburg. No one saw AC Milan losing to Torino on Saturday. It was an unbelievable result. They lost 2-1 there. It was really, really shocking there against Salzburg. Remember in the first game of the group, they drew 1-1 away in Salzburg, away in Austria there. I think it was our own Nigerian boy, Okafor, the first skin guy that scored the leveler for Salzburg in that game. I'm still expecting another goal in this game at the San Siro. AC Milan haven't yet been convincing in Europe yet. In Syria they do well, but in Europe they're still trying to find their feet. So this game I'll play for a goal or an over 1.5, right? So guys, if I call the game as a goal, you can go ahead and vary it on another ticket that play an over 1.5, right? So as I'm giving you options, also vary the tickets too, so that you can fall back on other options just in case our outcome doesn't play out. The other game will be Chelsea Dynamo Zagreb. Remember that this was a game that Chelsea lost that led to the sacking of Thomas Tuchel early on in the campaign there. Now Zagreb have to come to Stamford Bridge and feel the entire wrath, feel the full wrath of Chelsea there. They had a dismal outing against Brighton over and Albion. And if you had seen that game and the way those Brighton players played, I think you'll be convinced that those guys want to send a clear message to Graham Potter there. I expect Chelsea to bounce back against Zagreb. I do not expect them to necessarily win because they'll be resting a lot of players for the weekend fixtures there. But I think you can go ahead and play Chelsea win or draw there. It's going to be a comfortable one for Chelsea. But even if they don't win, I expect them to at least pick up a point in this game. The next one will be Madrid versus Celtic. Madrid again dropping points against Girona there at the weekend. If you had watched the first 35 minutes of that game, Madrid seemed very flat. It was a very flat performance there. And even when they went ahead, they weren't really convincing. It was surprising to me that they couldn't see that game out there. And, It was the first time in Toni Kroos's career that he's gotten a red card, and that's a long and accomplished career. They're playing for Bayern Munich, moving to Madrid, and he moved to Madrid 2014, right? Right. I think after the World Cup, so that's about 8 years there, and he's never gotten a red card, even when he was in Bayern Munich too. So it's kind of shocking one there. Against Celtic, I expect them to just go out there, enjoy themselves, and then just basically blew away Celtic there. Nothing to say here. Expect the Madrid victory here. Juventus PSG, Juventus again out of the Champions League. They have failed to qualify for the last 16. Really atrocious campaign in Europe this year against PSG, who are currently flying. Man, I'm sure guys, you saw that go by Lionel Messi at the weekend. Just a beautiful and majestic, 30-yard strike, man. And it just summarizes Messi's renaissance there at PSG this season. He's really come on leaps and bounds there, finally integrated himself into the capital there, and really giving them their money's worth there. So against Juventus at the Juventus Stadium, Allianz Stadium in Italy there, expect a tough one. Expect Juventus to at least try and salvage some pride there. As it's their last game in Champions League for this season. So I would elect to go for a go-go in this one. If not a go-go, at least an over 1.5 or a PSG in win or X2. So guys, let me just repeat myself again. Either a go-go, an over 1.5, or a PXG win or draw, right? The last game I will consider will be Arsenal Zurich. I'm not sure Arsenal are going to put out their strong team here. Obviously, they want to finish on the flourish there next weekend there to make sure that they go into that World Cup break top of the table there. So expect them to put out a second team there against Zurich at home at the Emirates Stadium. So for that one, I would go for a bit confused now. Should I say a home draw, or a home win? But guys, you know what? On second thought, let's just leave this game out because it's difficult to tell what team Arsenal is going to put out there. So again, let's really do a recap of the games that I've called for this midweek, right? So Liverpool Napoli, I've called it as a Napoli X2, Napoli win or draw. Rangers Ajax, I've called it as a goal or an Ajax X2. Porto versus Atletico Madrid, I've called it as a 1X for Porto. Bayern Munich Inter Milan, I've called it as a 1X for Bayern Munich. Pilsen Barcelona, I've called it as an away win for Barcelona there. I expect them to finish on the flourish. Marseille versus Tottenham, I'm calling it for a Tottenham X2 or a away win, expecting them to do just enough to get that point that they need to qualify for the last 16. Sporting Lisbon versus Eintracht Frankfurt, I'm calling that as a go-go. I expect both teams to have a go at each other. Both of them stand a chance of qualifying for the last 16 with a good result in this game. So yeah, go-go or a 1X for Sporting. AC Milan versus Salzburg, I'm calling that as a go-go or basically a go-go will be sufficient for me there. AC Milan, I'm backing them to at least putting a decent performance after that shocking loss at the weekend. Chelsea Zagreb, remember that was a game that got too much to just sacked. Following that dismal outing at the Amex Stadium against Brighton, I'm expecting Chelsea to at least bounce back and if not necessarily win this one, but at least get a draw in this one. So that's a Chelsea 1X in that game. Madrid Celtic, nothing to be said here, just expecting Madrid win. Juventus PSG, I'm expecting a go. Juventus to at least salvage some form of pride here against PSG, but I do know that PSG will find a way to score. That's pretty much it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 11 games that were called, guys. Vary the tickets, like I always say. Don't forget to always do your own research and make sure you play with an amount that you can afford to lose. Let me just repeat that again. Do your own research and only play with an amount that you're comfortable losing, right? So guys, don't forget what I always say. Try and subscribe to the channel, like this video and turn on notifications because we'll be releasing videos like this on a regular. We'll be back in 2-3 days time for the final weekend games before the World Cup starts. Have a great midweek. Take care. Stay safe, stay sane, and we'll be back in 2 or 3 days time. Thank you.